Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I'll mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we're looking at the GOAT, not the greatest of all time, I guess the BOAT, the best of all time. We're looking at someone who's been around for a while in Mel Kiper in his new mock draft. He actually does predictions for round 1 and round 2. We'll look at all that today, but what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football Discord. Let me shout out Underdog Fantasy. Thank you for being a sponsor of the channel. When you use promo code Broshmo, baby, all caps by the way, they'll go ahead, they'll match your deposit up to $100. They do everything from football, basketball, baseball, and it all kind of revolves around potential like fantasy points, over and unders and such. So you could actually do like a 4 to 6 pick'ems on stuff, and it's really, really cool. They got multipliers, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. Remember, my friends, bet responsibly. What are you thinking? Come on now. Don't put your mortgage on the line. I know I won't, because my wife would kill me, quite literally, if I go missing. It's my wife. Anywho, let's get into this sucker. By the way, there's the thumbnail. Let's get into this. Don't know if Mel's doing trades. I am aware of 2 picks in this, being pick 1 and pick 9. Outside of that, I have no idea. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got Bryce Young going to the Carolina Panthers. He is officially the odds-on favorite, if you're a betting man, to go first overall. Gojo is going to make that bet right now. I'm actually going to let him out. All right, later, Gojo. Be easy, buddy. Oh, here we go. But let's be honest, he's the best quarterback prospect in this class in terms of the upside. Maybe not to like an Anthony Richardson, maybe even if you want to make a case to Will Levis. But I think he is the better passer. I think he just does the most in the pocket. He shows poise. He can improvise. I think he's got a good arm. I think he just surveys the field quicker than the guys behind him in this class. All right, let's go to number 2, which is a Stroud. I'm kind of hoping it's Anthony Richardson. Oh, it's Stroud. Some of y'all will be like, Anthony Richardson? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. That might be something I start doing. Be like, yo, you know what? Let's have Houston shoot for the fences instead of getting a potential double with CJ Stroud. But Stroud's a fine pick, man. Fine pick. I think this dude could ultimately be like a top 12, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. The question really is, can he go and become elite? Because that's the kind of thing with like Anthony Richardson. The tools are just so bonkers. Like if he hits, he's going to hit and hit in a big way. If Stroud hits, it'd be like, okay, cool. Get this guy a supporting cast, you know. You got yourself a quality quarterback on your hands. So that's kind of the difference in terms of what people view the ceiling of these guys as. But I think Stroud's a fine pick here. I'm not going to rag on it. Okay, we got a projected trade. So we got trades. So we got the Titans trading up. All right, Tannehill, free agent 2024. Malik, who dropped all the way to the 3rd in last year's draft, really struggled as a rookie because he was a freaking rookie and everyone was under the consensus, don't start him year 1. Even getting benched for journeyman Joshua Dobbs. Dobbs is honestly kind of an all right backup. Not a high-end guy, but he's like a middle-of-the-road backup in the NFL. All right, so Tennessee would have to give up a lot in this trade. The closest recent, we're talking 3 first-rounders. All right. I don't know what Mel gave up in compensation, but it looks like we're talking. They gave up 41 as well, and a first in 2024 and a first in 2025. Or maybe a second then. Okay, so they gave up a lot. They get Anthony Richardson. He's kind of the swing. Again, the physical tools are out the wazoo. Yeah, like the accuracy, it's a bit scattershot. Like, admittedly, he is probably the least accurate of like the top 4 quarterbacks in this class. But you see a willingness, a want to be a passer before a runner, though we know how deadly he is when he does take just tuck the ball and go. But if it's actually something that gets better over time, and like honestly with Richardson, I don't think he's a guy you have to necessarily sit. If you want to just go ahead and start him, then I think you can do that. Obviously, you have Tannehill on the roster, so you don't have to do that. But I think with Richardson, just the upside is just ludicrous. Like if you hit, you really hit, and even if you don't, I feel like he's such a problem with his feet, such a playmaker you have to account for, that he's still going to be, I think, at least an okay quarterback in the NFL. All right, so now this is the Colts. They just go ahead, they settle on Will Levis, which actually might be their guy anyway, because Chris Ballard. But yeah, no, they get Levis. We see the top 4 quarterbacks go off the board at the first 4 picks. So there you go. Now the draft really begins. Let's see it. Why are we talking about Kincaid here? Don't tell me we got a surprise. Jalen Carter, first player off the board. And I'm okay with this. Like, I get it. Will Anderson might be like the safer pick. But golly, guys, until like let's just call it a not great draft cycle. It was rough. It was rough for him. But he's got 2 years of great tape. He was widely considered the best prospect, regardless of position in this class. Like, I'm still willing to take a shot on that guy in the top 6. Here, going over Will Anderson, you can make the case. Like, oh, okay, well, Will Anderson, he's right up there. Like, these guys are basically neck and neck before you consider the off-field stuff or even the work ethic stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to go to bat for this one too much, just because I think I personally would probably take Anderson. But I don't hate it. I'll just say that. I don't hate it. All right, which means Will Anderson going to the Detroit Lions. Wow, gotta love it. So I bet you Lions, man, are loving that freaking... Hey, yeah, go ahead. 4 quarterbacks, back to back to back to back. It's like, hey, we'll take Jalen Carter. We'll take Will Anderson. We'll take either of those guys. So this pick, I get it. Doesn't necessarily have to be corner with... no, they got rid of Jeffrey Okuda today for a 5th. Doesn't have to be corner. Listen, if the board falls this way, I think I'd take Will Anderson. I think I'd take Jalen Carter. If those 2 guys aren't available, I'll probably take corner then. So that's where I'm at. We have the Las Vegas Raiders, Devon Witherspoon. Good fit for Patrick Graham's defense. I think Christian Gonzalez right up there with Witherspoon. Nolan Smith going to the Atlanta Falcons. I like this. Flies off the edge. Obviously, they just brought in Kuda. Doesn't mean they don't go corner necessarily. I don't think that's off the board. But they could take guys like Tyree Wilson. They could take Nolan Smith, whatever edge they're really high on here, because their pass rush wasn't great last year. So I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Chicago Bears, this was the other pick I was talking about. I knew prior to this because I just saw it on Twitter. Darnell Wright being the first tackle off the board. For some people, it might be kind of wild. I don't think so. I think Darnell Wright, finally the hype train's kind of got in here. Like, I've been screaming from the rooftop, yo, I really feel like Darnell Wright's going to be the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers at 17. The way that Mike Tomlin was looking at him and Dwan Jones, like, I feel like initially I was like, okay, maybe at 32, but then like really look at how this tackle class just falls off, be like, oh no, they're probably going to have to make that pick at 17 if they really want it. So good pick to get for the Bears. They get a very physical right tackle there, so solid. On to number 10, Philadelphia Eagles. So no more trades thus far, but we'll see if he has trades later on. Peter Skoronski, some people might not like this. It's not sexy, but I mean, Skoronski's actually a really good pick for the Eagles. I think. Come in here, Gojo. With Skoronski, you get a guy that can play really any, like 5 positions on the offensive line. Wherever you need him to fill in, essentially. If you rather Cam Jurgens kind of be the center weight in, like in the wings, the heir apparent to Kelsey, you don't want to move him to guard, then cool. Skoronski, bam, there you go, right guard. If Lane Johnson goes down and you're like, we feel like Driscoll's more of a guard, then bam, Skoronski, right tackle. Like, he just gives you so much. Like, and plus it's the Eagles. They love the trenches, right? Almost as much as Joe Douglas. Maybe not as much as Joe Douglas. We'll see what the Jets do. Tyree Wilson going here. Okay, Tyree Wilson going to the Arizona Cardinals. These bird teams with cities that start with A got me all mixed up. I think this is solid. You trade down and you get a guy that, for a lot of people, is projected inside the top 10. So I think that's really good value. You pick up a lot of picks. You're kind of in a rebuild. So I like it. It's good. Jackson Smith-Njigba going to the Houston Texans. And I get that this pick makes more sense when you have CJ Stroud coming to the Texans. It's like, oh yeah, pair him up with the guy that they lit up the 2021 season. I guess that kind of makes John Mechie, when he returns, an outside guy. They got Nico Collins, they got Robert Woods. So it's like, yeah, I mean, added more firepower. But I honestly believe that this pick is going to be a defensive lineman. I really do. I think we're going to see the first big fingerprint on the defensive line for D'Amico Ryans. So that's my call on it. This is me calling my shot, but I understand. I see the dots. I see the logic. Broderick Jones. Look at this. Joe Douglas can't help himself. Trench players. Shoot, even Robert Saleh, man, loves some trench players. I say that in last year, their first 2 picks, you get Sauce Gardner and then Garrett Wilson. But Joe Douglas couldn't help himself. I'm going to trade back up in the first round for Jermaine Johnson. The trenches. But Broderick Jones, I think going offensive line makes the most sense for the Jets. They don't necessarily have to. But I just feel like it does make the most sense because Mekhi Becton, probably out. Dwayne Brown, he is old. So Broderick Jones, heir apparent, or right now left tackle. You got probably Max Mitchell on the other side. You don't even necessarily have to start Broderick Jones from day one if you want to put Brown or Mekhi Becton there. Really, I think, have they freaking, I know I said this last time, have they signed Ben Jones yet? Because they are in trouble at center. Is Connor McGovern still out there? He went somewhere else, right? Not like Dallas Connor McGovern, but Jets Connor McGovern. All right, where are the Jets here? Wes Schwetzler. Yeah, not loving it. Not loving it. I want to know, is Connor McGovern still out there? Oh, here we go. Where is he? Is he currently still a free agent? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Dude is still a free agent. That's wild. Well, I mean, I guess he is coming back from knee surgery. All right, well, butter my biscuits. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I guess that's just a long way saying why offensive tackle kind of makes sense for the pick here. Christian Gonzalez, yo, if the board falls like this, that's great. Patriots, like, pick them up, man. Pick them up. Corners kind of fall in here a little bit as we got Joey Porter still on the board as well. We'll see what Washington does at pick 16. We got pick 15 being the... Oh, yeah, Green Bay Packers, so they won't go corner. Okay, it's Dalton Kincaid. A lot of people been mocking this. Some people will be like, oh, this is not how the Packers draft. And to be fair, I will raise you, well, obviously how the Packers draft have not really worked. Maybe get more playmakers to kind of decide, okay, is Jordan Love the guy of the future for us? Might be the right way to go. Dalton Kincaid, very good receiving tight end. Might be the best receiving tight end in this class. So, yeah. People are like, oh, Darnell Washington makes way more sense because he's built like freaking Mercedes Lewis and he can block. And it's like, and obviously what you were doing before has not really worked. You missed the playoffs last year. You're going to be losing your all-pro quarterback, your future Hall of Fame quarterback, and you need to figure out if this guy you have who's been sitting on the bench for like 3 years, is he the next guy? Because you spent a first-rounder on him. So, yeah. All right, this is where I expect to see... This is Mel Kiper, though. It could be something weird, but I expect to see Joey Porter. Hey, me and Mel, dude. One mind, baby. Good pick. Washington, they want to get more physical at corner. Joey Porter kind of does that. He could be overtly physical at times, but good pickup. Gets them more depth in that cornerback room. Some people are like, they had a top defense last year, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, quarterback, like corner, such a volatile position. Just keep reloading that sucker. So, yeah. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers. They go Zay. Dude, okay, listen. I know, because there's a lot of people that want Jordan Addison for this pick. The Steelers don't take wide receivers in the first round. At least they haven't in recent memory. They like to hit on those day two guys. Deontay Johnson. You got Juju. You got George Pickens. Like, they typically like to hit on those day two guys. So, maybe if, like, Addison falls to pick 32, maybe, okay. But, yeah, no, I don't see receiver here. And it's like, Zay Flowers would be nice. He'd be fun. But I think there's just other areas you can attack here. Detroit Lions, they go Bijan Robinson. The fall stops for Bijan. I totally forgot Bijan was still on the board. I gotta move this down because they put this little ad thing in my way. There we go. I mean, yeah, right now we're all just playing a guessing game where Bijan might go. Like, because he's so good, he's going inside the top 20. Where? Don't know. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, forgot Paris Johnson was still on the board. Ridiculous. Oh, excuse me, I'm choking on my words here, but ridiculous good value here. You can keep Wirfs at right tackle, or shoot, you can move Paris Johnson over to the right side because he played right guard in 2021, so he has experience playing on the opposite side. So good job there. Good job. Seattle Seahawks take Miles Murphy. Who do they take? Jalen Carter. So now they get kind of a vastly different type of edge player than they have than they have on the roster, actually. Like, Murphy's a really, really explosive athlete at 268. Like, ran a 4.52, explodes off. Like, the dude can be twitched up. He's raw. Could play, like, he needs to play with leverage a lot better. But, golly, man, I see him going into the top 20 as well. No Lucas Van Ness yet, though. Pick 22 Chargers. Could see it here with him on the board. Um, Quentin Johnston. Oh no, there's a lot of different areas they could go here. Let's see who it is. Oh, Jordan Addison. Okay. I'm all right with this. I know Addison didn't test out as fast as everyone kind of hoped, but that dude's fast on the field. He's one of the best route runners in this class. If they miss out on Zay, I think Addison's fine with this pick. Baltimore, Deontay Banks makes a ton of sense. You just gave OBJ all that money, so grabbing a corner here, especially Banks, good fit for Baltimore. Minnesota Vikings. Manuel Forbes. I thought that this might be Quentin Johnston. It's not. So Forbes actually, whatever Brian Flores ends up doing, whether it is, well, I'm going to have to play more off-zone coverage because that's the corners I have right now on the roster, or if he ends up playing a lot of more press man, like Forbes is the guy that actually did pretty well in press man. To be fair, most of the time he was playing a lot of zone because that's just what Zach Arnett does at Mississippi State, but he's played a lot of different zone coverages. So really the biggest knock on Forbes is that size, 166. It's just like, it's a big outlier. That's why I don't think he goes on the first because of it. But the dude's a freaking playmaker, 6 career pick sixes. So like, yeah, I think the Vikings could definitely use more help at the corner position, more talent. This pick should be Brian Branch. I don't think it will be for the Jags, but it should be. So it gets Van Ness. I think that's actually a really good pick too. You get a guy that honestly could serve kind of like as a oh my gosh, what's his first name? Smoot. I can't remember his first name. But he can kind of serve in that role where he's not exclusively just like a edge rusher, but a guy that kind of like you can move around and play off stunts. And I mean, freaking Harbaugh. Oh no. Peterson. There we go. Loves doing crap like that. Sorry, they all look alike. All these white coaches look alike, can I say? But I think like he loves that. He loves looping players. He loves stunts stuff. And I think like Van Ness is that guy, man. He's very nimble. All right, 25 is. Let's quick guess, and we got a second round to get to. Oh my gosh, another undersized corner making it. DJ Turner actually, I think he kind of fits the roster, like the scheme, quite nicely. But Quentin Johnston, dude, like, is everyone this out on him as a first rounder? I don't like that. He's my wide receiver one, but yeah, no, like Turner fits, man. He's fast, he's sticky, he's played a lot of man coverage, but like you hate this guy's physicality. You really do. I really, honestly, Quentin Johnston should have been this pick. 26, Dallas Cowboys. They take Michael Mayer. Listen, like, they can't hate Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot that much. Those guys shined last year. You don't need another tight end. What are you really doing here? The Cowboys never replaced Dalton Schultz. I don't know. Look at the depth chart. Did they? They had 2 freaking tight ends. One drafted and one, I think Hendershot was a UDFA, who saw significant playing time this year. You could go in other direction here. What that direction is, I don't know. No Cansey yet, by the way. Trenton Simpson, so we do see a linebacker go in the first round. If they're trying to find another ludicrous athlete to replace Tremaine Edmonds, like Simpson kind of would be it. I don't like any of the linebackers as first rounders in this class, though. And I really think they should be probably going with the offensive line. All right, so Bengals take Brian Brazee. I think that's kind of fun. I really, really do. Like, they drafted Zach Carter, who really... it's kind of mad last year. Brian Brazzi, you bring him in to just kind of serve the same role. So Carter's now more of a depth piece, a guy that actually Carter, I like his versatility along the line. So Brazzi kind of comes in and can be that penetrator, man. So I actually like that pick quite a bit. Would I rather right tackle? If you're higher on Brazzi, I think I'm kind of cool with it. The New Orleans Saints, they go ahead, they take Kalijah Kancey. Good point here by Mel that they added Kalen Saunders and Nathan Shepard. So two bigger guys. So getting this penetrator here kind of makes sense. Y'all already know what penetrator I like in this draft. He's from Northwestern, not Pittsburgh. Projected. Okay, so the Seahawks are moving back in round 1. Ooh, I'm curious for who. So I'll project Seattle to give up both its second round picks, 37 and 52. Dang. Philly moves down 7 picks, but adds a prime selection on day 2. Still owns 62. Dang, that is kind of a wow. Who are they getting? Freaking Hendon Hooker. There's some buzz about Hooker rising into the first round, and this could be the perfect landing spot. I have a second round grade on him, but I can see why. Okay, man, like I get it. It's important to get that 5th-year option. Hendon Hooker's going to be 26 probably by the time he takes a start and snap. And you'd be like, oh, that sucks. It does. It does suck. Well, the longevity on quarterbacks nowadays, it's like, okay. It's like, what, after you get him out of 5 years, like, what, he's going to be 30? You're going to be like, all right, what, Russ, he started going downhill at, what, 32, 33? How old is Aaron Rodgers? Ain't he like 37? Maybe you get one more contract out of him, though. Like, it's not the end-all, be-all, but it's like, what do you think the upside is on Hooker? That's kind of the other case, so. I'm not for it, but I understand why some people are. Will McDonald going to the Chiefs. They actually rushed Willie Gay quite a bit off of the outside. So maybe having Willie Gay move back to, hey, you just go sideline to sideline in coverage, man. Just go fly around. We'll have Will McDonald get after it. That might be the play there. So I am a bit more open-minded now to a smaller pass rusher going to a spag defense. Consider what they utilized with Willie Gay last year. All right, now we start round 2. Let's just kind of roll through this. Anton Harrison. Don't think Anton Harrison is the Steelers' cup of tea. Like, the play strength is just not there yet for him. Houston Texans, Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Solid pickup. Arizona Cardinals, Quentin Johnston going to day 2, but this is actually kind of like a very nice... you're going to trade away D-Hop. Okay, go get a big receiver that can make a difference down the field. Or even in the short to intermediate with what he can do after the catch. Brian Branch going to the Colts. This feels like, okay, that's like, okay, Kenny Moore's probably going to be moved now. I mean, how much do they like Julian Blackmon in the slot? Or how much do they not like him in the slot then? So I got a few questions about that. But the value is really good here with Branch. Keon White going to the Rams. Do you really want to develop a 24-year-old pass rusher with no real lateral ability? I don't know. I think B.J. Ojulari kind of perfect here. This was the Eagles. They get Gibbs because they get like 2 extra. They move out of the first, but now they have 3 second-round picks here. So, I mean, I think Gibbs is a fine pick here. Raiders, Osiris Torrance. They get a guard. Play him at right guard, which, oh my gosh, wasn't... This is my problem. I'm pretty sure Dylan Parham, that's actually where his best games were at last year, right guard. Don't force him into left guard, man. Just play him at right guard. He was playing good at right guard. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Maybe it was vice versa. Let me see. Oh, where are you at, Dylan Parham? Oh, you're far down here. All right, so... Oh, no, it was vice versa. He was good at right guard. No, he was good at right guard. Like, his strongest games came at right guard. Against Denver and then against the Chargers. Then they moved him to center in week 2 and week 3. Moved him back to right guard. And then he started left guard the rest of the year. And it was not great. But, I mean, Osiris Torrance played left guard his freshman year. So, it could work. Could work out that way. Drew Sanders, I don't think they need another linebacker. Let's take a quick gander at the linebacker depth for the Carolina Panthers. Because they got, was it Frankie M? No, Frankie L. Luvu. I don't know how to pronounce that. They did bring back Shaq Thompson. Or I say bring back. They reworked his contract. They got Brandon Smith waiting in the wings. I really think grabbing a pass rusher would kind of be ideal, but okay. Screw me, right? I don't know. It's all right, I guess. We got New Orleans going Darnell Washington. That's kind of fine. I think you might want to keep addressing the defensive line. Maybe grab an edge here, but okay. Mozzie Smith going to the Cardinals. That's a good pickup after getting Tyree. And they got Quentin Johnson. Ooh, Cardinals, have yourself a draft. Luke Musgrave going to the Jets. I think they'd be more willing to take Darnell Washington because, like, okay, they got guys there, but they're kind of like whatever. Like, Musgrave has to get better as a blocker, but he kind of profiles. I think he profiles to being a better blocker. So, we'll see. With back-to-back picks, Joe Tippmann. So, yeah, with Connor McGovern still not signed. They got Wes Schwitzer. Yeah, Tippmann would be a good pickup here. Works well in kind of an outside zone blocking scheme. Keely Ringo going to the Falcons. I mean, I get it. I think this is a good spot for him to sweeten on that potential. I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the best fit, though. Like, I get it. He's got size to be this good press man or press guy. I think you have to keep him in a zone heavy scheme. But also, like, there's some deficiencies with his press technique, though that can't get better. So really, he's just, for me, a zone guy. In Atlanta, it's probably going to be a bit more man heavy. So, oh yeah, he also did this trade before Jeffrey Okudah. We got Byron Young out of Tennessee. Ooh. And I like this because Young's going to have to play away from the ball a bit more. But you have him wide 9. Like his run defense, I think, is a bit better than people think. Matthew Bergeron. I think DeJuan Jones is still on the board too, right? Not positive. But Bergeron's a good pickup here. Like Trent Brown, Riley Reif, they ain't long-term options there. Oh, there goes Blake Freeland. So I imagine DeJuan Jones is off the board. If they break Blake Freeland's going. Maybe I'm just lower on Freeland. I don't get it, dude. Like, I loved Abraham Lucas going into last year's draft, but consistently I saw people mock him outside the top 50. He ends up being a 3rd rounder. Blake Freeland, I thought was going to be my Abraham Lucas. Let me down at the Senior Bowl. I think he's got a ways to go in terms of adding that power to his own repertoire. I don't think he's as bendy or flexible as Abraham Lucas was. But we're seeing, this is like, what? I'm pretty sure I've seen Blake Freeland in the top 50 like 2 or 3 times now. Riddle me that. Jack Campbell, man. Jack gets to play for his father, Dan there. And honestly, kind of the linebacker they're missing. Like, okay, Anzalone, he's fine, but he's like as average can get. Jack Campbell will come in there and be a nice mic for them. Julius Brents. I like him as a press guy, but I also like him in his zone heavy scheme. Doesn't necessarily mean he can't play man, but I kind of like him better in zone. Here's my boy Ede Tamiwa Adebari. I had him previously in round 1 of my mock, and I have heard varying opinions on where he could end up and which teams like him. There's a chance he goes much higher than this, even if as high as top 15. Hype up my boy, dude. Let's go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. But they get that penetrator there we're hoping from Logan Hall. Ha! Them Houston guys just don't always work out. Steve Avila is a fine option here. Maybe he plays center. You can move Connor Williams back to guard. You have Robert Hunt there, and then you got Robert Jones kind of as this nice depth option that you're still developing. So I think that's fine. Derek Hall is an interesting choice here. And I think I'll leave it at that because I really want this guy to play wide 9. Like, he's not the most bendy guy in this class, but he's a better run defender than maybe some people give him credit for. So, like, maybe he could hang with the Eagles there. I don't know. It's a little weird pick for me. Talking about weird picks, BJ Ojulari, bit undersized, but I do not see him as a fit in Eberflus's defense. Call me crazy. I don't see it. Brenton Strange. Strange is getting this hype, dude. I'm just looking foolish that I think this guy's a day 3 option. Do the league really think this high of him? I think he's fine. But fine as a day 3 guy. I really, out of pure pressure, might just move him up like a round or 2. I ain't moving him in day 2, though. Interesting. Wait, who did they take round 1? Jordan Addison, that's right. Jalen Hyatt going to the Lions. So their Hall, Bijan, Jack Campbell, Hyatt, Willie Anderson. I think he did this mock before the corner thing, so he might go corner at one of these 2 spots, but I think that's a good mock draft thus far. All right, Cameron Smith. I mean, here you're just adding talent to the corner position. I'm cool with that. John Michael Schmitz. Giants need a center. Yes, they do. Dallas Cowboys. Jonathan Mingo. Like, there's word. Like, I've seen I've seen the rumor mill about Dallas. Apparently, they really want a receiver. Like, potentially in the 1st. So it's like, I don't know. But Mingo's been getting a lot of hype lately too. Josh Downs going to the Bills. I feel like this is better Khalil Shakir. But is that what your team is missing? Better Khalil Shakir? Zach Charbonnet. Get Joe Mixon out of there. Charbonnet, you could probably even wait later on running back and still be okay. All right, Bears, Jaquilin Roy. Ooh, this is really high for Roy. I kind of have him as like a early day 3, like 4th round probably. Like I probably have him at like 115 on the big board, somewhere around there, I imagine. So this is really, really early. Roy, a cat that really can play, I think, anywhere on the defensive interior. Really cut his teeth playing nose tackle. That's why his stats didn't always look great for LSU. But I feel like that's fine. There's better options, though. Eagles, they get Quan Martin. really feel like Mel dropped the ball with the second round. I mean, I guess what you either play him in the slot or you're playing him deep. But like Blankenship, I'm kind of cool with deep. But I mean, what you got Maddox in the slot, right? I don't know. Chiefs, they go Marvin Mims. I actually really like that. That's actually the last pick, but I like that. I love Mims, man. Do they have size at receiver? Not great size. Mims ain't going to help out with that, but I think Mims is fun. He's a fun pick here. But that's it for the mock, man. That's it for Mel Kiper's mock. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. I felt the first round was fine. Second round, I thought a lot of picks either weren't good scheme fits or I'm just way lower than he is on some players. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.